Top 10 peaks for summer ascents. With all the variety of forms of tourist travel, mountain climbing remains the most romantic and intriguing type of tourism. Already in the very word ascent, its energy, there is effort, tension, overcoming and other experiences, somewhat similar to personal spiritual experience. Kazbek, height 5,033 meters, location Central Caucasus, Russia, Georgia. Acclimatization on Kazbek is easier to carry, and this is what is needed for the first test at altitude. At the same time, there are all the conditions in order to feel like a real climber: snow and ice, the need to walk in crampons and use an ice axe, the ability to move in a bundle, to deal with possible wind and other manifestations of a harsh climate at altitude. Mont Blanc, height 4,810 meters, location the Alps, France and Italy. Mont Blanc is a benchmark in mountaineering for amateurs. It is the first ascent to the highest point of the Alps that is considered the birth of mountaineering all over the world. So it will be very symbolic for many to get their first mountaineering experience right here. Mont Blanc is lower than Kazbek, and the infrastructure on the mountain embodies the 21st century, so climbing it will be even more comfortable, with smooth acclimatization and practically light. Elbrus, height 5,642 meters, location North Caucasus, Russia. The two-headed Elbrus is the highest peak in Russia. A stratovolcano with a height of 5,642 meters is included in the list of 7 major heights in the world. Elbrus is approached from all directions of the world, but the most popular and easiest route is from the south. Firstly, the most developed infrastructure is on the southern slope, and secondly, the most well-groomed route. Increasingly, to increase the chances of climbing, snowmobiles are used, on which you can reach an altitude of 4,800 meters. Belukar, height 4,509 meters, location Altai, Russia and Kazakhstan. Mount Belukar is the main peak on the Kantunsky Ridge. One of the names of Kadynbazi is precisely translated as the top of Katun, and the highest peak of the Altai Mountains is one of the largest mountains in Russia. In the South Altai language, the mountain is called Uk-Sumer, which means three-headed. Belukar Peak was named by color. It is abundantly covered with snow. 169 glaciers are concentrated on the slopes, representing more than 60% of the glaciation area of the Kantunsky Ridge. The height of the Belukar Saddle, the depression between the peaks, this is the place that is recognizable in many photographs of the mountain, is 4,000 meters. The mountain range is composed of rocks of the Cambrian period. The relief rose in the Paleogene, is located on the border of the seismic zones, 7 to 8 point activity. The climate of the mountainous region of Belukar is harsh. Winters are long and summers are short. Altitudinal zoning can be traced. Forests extend up to 2,000 to 2,200 meters, thicker than on the northern slopes. Kilimanjaro, height 5,895 meters, location the East African Plateau, Tanzania. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa. It is impossible not to recognize Mount Kilimanjaro. It has been a symbol of Kenya and all of Africa for many years. Mount Kilimanjaro is a volcano that locals claim was active over 150 years ago. The highest stratovolcano in Africa is located in northeastern Tanzania, near the border with Kenya, in the middle of a desert plain and rises above the Masai Plateau, which lies at an altitude of 900 meters above sea level. Kilimanjaro has a mixed climate, ranging from equatorial to Arctic. Lenin Peak, height 7,134 meters. Location: Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. In the Soviet Union, geographers like to name peaks in honor of the symbols of communism. And one of the most important symbols of the communist movement, as you know, is Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. And it was in his honor that Lenin Peak was named. Lenin Peak is located on the border of two countries, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. It belongs to the Pamir mountain system and is the second highest in the post-Soviet space of the region, reaching a height of 7,134 meters. The Pamir is a harsh place. Winters last long here, and summers are very short. All the peaks of the region are covered in snow all year round. The climate of the Pamirs is characterized by sharp continentality. From the elevation of 2,500 meters, the transition to a continental climate can be observed. Temperature fluctuations are significant, especially in the eastern part. Morning can start at -20 degrees Celsius, and in the summer, the temperature rises to 0 degrees Celsius by noon. In the summer, tropical air masses come here. In winter, the bar can often show -40 degrees Celsius. It is never hot in summer, which makes it a little easier to conquer the peaks. The eastern part is characterized by the most unfavorable conditions for climbing. It is here that temperatures in winter can reach -50 degrees and even lower. The Matterhorn, height 4,478 meters. Location: the Alps, Switzerland and Italy. The Matterhorn is located in the Pennine Alps on the border of Italy and Switzerland. This mountain is the symbol of Switzerland. The peak is distinguished by a descent height of over 4,000 meters and a very strange pyramidal shape, which makes it very dangerous to climb. Because of this, he was one of the last to be conquered. Despite this, in the Alps, the Matterhorn is a fairly popular destination among climbers. Every year, people try their hand, risk their lives, and try to climb the peak and conquer it. The Matterhorn has a nickname, the Killer Mountain. It is so called because of the large number of victims who tried to reach the top. Perhaps the most important feature of the peak is its shape and the unique profile of an almost regular triangle, which closely resembles a pyramid. The walls of the peak face four sides at once, and each ridge has its own name in honor of the climbers who died on the mountain. In addition, the peak has long been the logo of the popular Swiss chocolate brand Toblerone. Khan Tengri, height 6,995 meters. Location: Tian Shan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan and China. This mountain peak is located on the border of China, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. Another name for the height is quite eloquent: Khan Tu, Bloody Mountain. Ripping the sky with a coral wedge, the Lord of the Spirits, the Lord of the Heavenly Ridge, the graceful marble pyramid, Mount Khan Tengri appears to our gaze. It was the color of the Khan Tengri peak that gave rise to epics, legends and beliefs around it. The excessively harsh climate increased the fear of pilgrims, missionaries and merchants forced to cross the passes of the ridge. There were tales about the spirits living on the tops of the heavenly mountains, the extraordinary growth of giants and the loud sounds that they made. Island Peak, height 6,189 meters, location the Himalayas, Nepal. Island Peak, or Imyatse, the peak with a height of 6,189 meters, is considered one of the most accessible 6,000ers. The route to it does not have serious technical difficulties and is accessible to a person who has basic climbing skills, walking in crampons, working with an ice axe and a rope. To climb such heights, preliminary acclimatization is required. Climbers acquire it during the passage of one of the most popular tracks in the world, a track to the foot of Everest, with an ascent to Mount Kalapata, 5,545 meters. Following this path to the ringing bells on the necks of yaks spreading among the moon. Denali or McKinley, height 6,194 meters, location Alaska, USA. Denali is a two-headed mountain in the south of central Alaska, the highest mountain in North America. Located in the center of the Denali National Park. From 1896 to August 28, 2015, it was called Mount McKinley in honor of the 25th President of the United States of America. At the beginning of the 19th century, it was called the Big Mountain and was the highest point of the Russian Empire. In translation from the language of the Athabasca Indians, the name of Mount Denali means great. During the colonization of Alaska, the Russians simply called it Big Mountain. According to some reports, this is one of the versions of the translation of the Indian name.